Hey everybody, it's Sarah Townsend and Rob Thompson with our Beginners Business Bootcamp. And today we're going to be talking about pricing yourself appropriately. So, the first thing is you want to know what your bills are going to be for the month, right? Because we have to be realistic, especially if you are going to go all in on this business. So, you're going to leave the job that you are currently at. You need to know what you're going to be making or what you're going to need to pay for your house, your gas, your groceries, everything, right? Um, so the first thing I would do is for what you're planning on doing. So for me, a fitness program specifically for firefighter fitness for a CPAT, I looked at what across the board everyone was offering, and that was generic, general, everyday. Everyone got the exact same program pricing because people weren't making customized plans for CPAT. So that's what already put me ahead of the game, right? And so usually if people were buying like a 12-week course, it was something like $350 to $550, but it was generic, right? So everyone got the exact same program. It usually didn't include nutrition or things like that. My difference was that I was going to make customized plans. I was going to do weekly check-ins. I was going to make customized macro programs. They got 12 recipes a week that fit their macros. They got a, a course that we call Work Smarter, Not Harder for when before they took their test. And we talked about technique styles, and we guaranteed that they would pass their CPAT, or we continue to work with them for free until they passed after those 12 weeks. All of that together made mine a much higher priced course because I gave guarantees and customized service. And eventually, when I had my 98% passing rate, I could even up that. So mine was more than $1,000 for that 12-week course. Now, when I first started, I was with a business coach and I was going to sell all of that for like $450. And he said, don't you dare, Sarah, sell that for $450, or you will be working every single day of your life and you'll be working your butt off and you'll be given a ton of value for too little, right? Sometimes if you purchase yourself too low, the like perceived value of what you're giving is also low, right? People want what they pay for. So he was the one that told me to price my services above $1,000. And that really paid off because it allowed me to give excellent, and I mean excellent service to my clients, as opposed to having hundreds and hundreds of clients that I would give subpar service to. So I had less than 100 clients. I was giving them exceptional service, and that allowed me to do things like work 5 days a week from home and work 4 hours or 3 hours a day. Those are the things that you're going to want to price yourself appropriately for. Now, when I say appropriately, though, you need to make sure that you are giving excellent service for what you are doing. Rob, do you have anything to add to that?
I agree. I agree. It's an interesting thing. You can give some stuff away for free, I've mentioned a couple times working with a young man who's trying to launch a business, and one specific thing was he said to me, I asked him what's his value proposition to the last pitch he made, and he told the client he would work for them for free for 3 months to earn their business. And I asked him, well, what's your package look like in the fourth month? And he gave me the dollar figure, and I did the quick math, and I told him, if that's successful for 4 months, will have worked for 17 cents an hour. And he's like, yeah. And why won't they hire me? And I said, because you're significantly devaluing your effort. And also, as a business owner myself, if you tell me you're going to work for 17 cents an hour, I know that I'm going, despite your best intent, I'm going to get low effort for that, if any effort, for 17 cents an hour. Plus, I would feel bad for hiring you for 17 cents an hour.
Yes.
Uh, but if you flip that around and say, I'm worth $250, for this action, or I'm worth this amount of money. There's a quote out there. It's don't pick up or don't step over dollars to pick up pennies, right? And so I use that with them to say it's okay to ask for your value, and if you have to make the pitch more, but you get those higher dollar clients. And I told him too, the the person who will take that up you on that offer for 3 months of free work might not be the client you want. If they're
Yes,
not willing to pay for your
absolutely.
labor, that's something to really consider.
Yes.
Yep. It's
Yeah.
it's a hard lesson to learn, but it's one you have to learn.
And I think when you first start your business too, it's scary. And so you feel like I need clients right now and I will do anything to have these clients. So before you leave your job, what I did was I took on a few clients that I was like, hey, give me your feedback. Let me know what you're doing. We're actually doing that for this business boot camp, right? We have offered a lower price for all of our first people that come through. And we want you guys to give us the feedback so that we can make changes and continuously improve this. But the reason you guys get a discount is because you're the guinea pigs, right? And so as we go, we're going to continue to raise those prices, and everyone feels like they're having imposter syndrome when they first start. So when maybe you're a baker, right? And you're going to do wedding cakes, and your business coach is like, you're going to sell that wedding cake for $5,500. And you're like, oh my gosh, there's no way. Let me tell you guys, even in a bad economy, people are spending money. Period. It's such a hard thing to believe, but I can tell you right now, I'm still making very good money in a bad economy because I give excellent service. If you are giving excellent service and you're working your butt off for your people and you're showing them love and appreciation, you will get the right clients and you will make the money, period. Even in a bad economy.
Yeah, you need to ask yourself why you're if you're not, why aren't you? What is happening with, is it the messaging? Is it the value proposition? Is it that you are, I used this example earlier, but is it that you are trying to start an underwater basket weaving company using a scuba helmet, right?
Yep.
It
Someone
doesn't
doesn't
make
want
sense
what
for
you
what you're
have.
trying.
Yeah.
Right, right. And so those are very important things to think about. The other thing that I think about a lot is something that I've taken to calling the two arcs, and it's this: at the root of what you're doing. If you come in, you have two options, right? Uh, and I see this a lot on people trying to replicate what I have done on social media, right? There's a lot of folks who come in and say, "Oh, it's easy to build a social media presence, or I can build a group and people will come and give me their business." And so my two arcs are this: if you come at this from a truly customer service helping value added state, okay, your arc is exponential. There's no arc. It's a line, right? Your growth is going to look like this line here. There's a small dent down here. Was unintentional, but let's call that you were sick for a week or something. But if you come at this from a value added perspective, this is what your business is going to do. If you do all the things we've talked about in this last 6 days, you do you have the right mindset. You do the things right. You get up and you develop your battle rhythm, and you analyze that battle rhythm, and you use the OODA loop or a similar framework to engage, and you test these things, and you ask yourself these hard questions: is this making sense? Is this doing this? Am I adding value? And add that value, right? Your arc is, there's no arc. It's a line, right? If you come at this from the perspective of profit, if I'm my sole goal rhymes, is profit, and I am going to extract profit from every interaction, this is what it's going to look like for you. You might get an initial surge as people buy the hype, right? But it will fail. And I have seen a number of people over the last decade say, "Oh, it's easy. I'll just go do this. I'll create a Facebook group." I've seen some real estate agents do this too, where they'll create a group and they'll say, "I'm here to help," but really they are trying to sell people a house. And I mean, I get it. That's how they pay the bills, right? But if don't be duplicitous and don't be disingenuous. If you're going to help, right? And profit will come. And so these are the two arcs of business that I think about a lot: community, which is exponential growth, or profit motive, which will experience diminishing returns for you too. The other aspect of this is, if you're coming at this from that pure profit motive, you're not going to have that passion necessarily to get up and do the value added activities we've been talking about in this boot camp the whole time. So So just those are my two arcs I want to share in the within the context of adding value of this module.
Yeah. So free gifts with a ton of value, amazing, because it builds trust. But when it comes to your actual product, it needs to be what it's worth, right? You need to be paid what you're worth. And that's not 17 cents an hour. And it's not even $20 an hour anymore, because $20 an hour is not a living wage, right? We all know that. Things are
The cost of
expensive here now.
childcare. Yeah.
I have a very hard drawn line in the sand, and this is what it is. If it's not $60 an hour or more for me to do it, it's not worth my time, because I like to spend a lot of my extra time giving back and doing things for our community, and I can only do that if I'm making a living wage for my family.
It's very fair. It's very fair. So we talked about what did we talk about? We talked about the two arcs, and we talked about cold versus no, I'm sorry, that was pricing yourself appropriately. Yeah, don't step over dollars to pick up pennies. Know the value of your worth, and don't be afraid to ask for that value, and have the confidence to do that too. Don't give away. You'll find that that's a diminishing returns as well, giving away all of your effort for nothing.
And give exceptional service. And with that, you can have that kind heart and give a lot back to your community. Like we do the free challenges where I give gift cards, hats, swag, shirts, all things I pay for back to my own community of people because I love them. So you
Agreed.
can do the cool stuff once you've built a base. Build the base.
Build the base. I like that. I may make a note in my first principles book. Build the base. All right. See you in the next
All right,
module.
next module.
Okay.